there's the system, which is a safety net for people who are on it for a short period of time because of something, often a family breaking up, a husband leaving home or something like that, who use it for a while as a safety net and then are back in the job market. For them, the system works pretty well as it is. The tougher problem are, unfortunately, we have larger and larger numbers of people who have just become almost professionally involved in the system. And somebody has to be found to break that cycle, because children who grow up in families where parents or a parent does not work and lives on welfare, you know, I think are greatly more likely to fall into that same trap themselves in the future. So the proposals to you know, to basically at least limit the time in which someone can spend there and make that reasonable by providing the job training and so on to get people back into the market, I think are very good kinds of programs, and I support them. They're obviously, all these things we talked about are interrelated. Persons who are on welfare are certainly more likely to turn to crime, robbery and burglary and so on as a way of making ends meet in some cases. And so fixing any one of these, I think, helps with the others.
You know, tourism, and of course you've done quite a bit around Nashville to boost the tourism, but how do you see that from a state perspective, and what do we have in the state of Tennessee that might be attractive to people and that we might be able to sell to people in order to increase tourism throughout the state?
Tourism is a good business to encourage because, first of all, it's new money coming in from outside the state. It's not just recycling existing money here. And second of all, one of the things I like about it is it's a very good business for small businesses. Tourism is not something which is, you know, it's not, automobile manufacturing is dominated by big plants. Obviously, tourism is something that whether you're a owner of a small motel or a little tour company or a little restaurant or those things that really help small businesses grow. I think Tennessee has an enormous amount to offer in terms of tourism. Right here in Nashville, we of course have the whole country music thing. Memphis with Beale Street and with the Pyramid has a lot to offer. East Tennessee with the mountains and the aquarium now in Charlotte has a great deal to offer. And really all across the state, I mean, the park system and the physical beauty of the place and the climate, I think we have a lot to offer here, and I'm looking forward to a chance to get out there and just sell.
Now, I think you mentioned the music industry, and quite recently there was some connection between the Country Music Hall of Fame and the arena. What is that connection, and what might we expect as things develop downtown dealing with the Country Music Hall of Fame?
We had talked with the Country Music Hall of Fame, which is located out on Music Row at the moment. They've been talking about expanding considerably and at the same time, I guess, sort of modernizing the exhibits, multimedia exhibits and so on. And we have begun the process of working out the arrangements whereby they can move down to be adjacent to the arena. I think that will be very good for them in that they will get all of the people who now come to it, plus a lot of other tourists who will be coming downtown for other reasons and who might not have gone out to Music Row to go to the museum. And anything we can do to sell Nashville and sell our country music here, I think is very important and very helpful. Now, that is going to have some negative impacts on some of the businesses out on Music Row, and we're talking with them to figure out how we mitigate the impact of that and to make sure that everybody plays in this expansion that's taking place in the city.
Now, the downtown, finally, within the last 2 or 3 minutes that we have here, the downtown development, you've got the Hard Rock Cafe on one corner, and the Wild Horse Cafe, which will be next to the Hard Rock. Now, what are you planning on doing on up that 2nd and 1st Avenue? I mean, are there other developments coming in there or what?
Well, I think that my idea was to make an investment in the arena, basically, which will bring people downtown, was a good public area. We've certainly worked at recruiting a couple of other key investments down there. The Wild Horse Saloon, the Hard Rock Cafe would be the 2 major ones, I guess, I'd outline. We also are sharing the cost with Opryland of bringing boats downtown from Opryland. What we're hoping is that having made these basic investments down there, that other entrepreneurs will come in and will fill in these places and make investment. That seems to be what's happening. There's a lot of restaurants getting very interested in the area, some other kinds of stores, and it's the way I think government ought to work. You make a few key anchor investments, and then let the private sector and the individuals and small businesses come in and really make something of those investments you've made.
In the interest of those who might be concerned with the environment, and I'm sure that a large number of people are, one time you talked with us about green space that should be created along the Cumberland River. Why don't you say something about that? Because from a state perspective, and how could you carry such an idea? Because not only would that green space be needed in Nashville, but certainly would be needed in some of these other urban developed areas there.
Yeah, I'm a strong believer that you have to develop the park system and keep open space along with all the rest of the development. Nashville is blessed with an excellent park system right now, and the state of Tennessee is blessed with an excellent state park system. One major thing that I've wanted to do is, I guess my dream has always been that one ought to be able to walk along the river all the way from Opryland at one end through downtown and on out to where TSU is in that direction. We've made some real progress on that by acquiring almost a square mile of land along the Cumberland River between downtown and Cornelius Ford Air Park out in that direction. That has been acquired at this point, and we're doing some preliminary design work to maybe put a walking trail, maybe a biking trail along there, and really use it as an extension of Shelby Park is what it basically would be. So I'm very proud of that. That may ultimately be 50 years from now my proudest achievement in Nashville, and because it'll be there for a long time.
Very good. In this last 45 seconds that we have, Mayor, any parting comments?
No, I've always enjoyed coming over and having a chance to talk with you. I'm working real hard at really 2 shifts right now, trying to be a good mayor and carry forward things we're doing, and also to present my credentials and myself across the state and try to earn people's vote. I feel real good about what's been accomplished in Nashville this past year, and I'm hoping for an opportunity to take it and paint on a broader, larger canvas.
Very good, and I'm sure you will be able to do so. And let me thank you, Mayor, for coming by and giving us that excellent information about what's going on in Nashville this morning. And let me encourage you to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.